Like and subscribe my YouTube channel. On September 2nd, 1998, what began as a routine international flight ended in one of the deadliest aviation disasters in Canadian history. The tragedy involved Swissair Flight 111 crash, a flight traveling from New York City to Geneva, Switzerland. The aircraft was a modern and highly respected McDonnell Douglas MD-11, operated by Swissair. On board were 215 passengers and 14 crew members, for a total of 229 people. The flight begins. Swissair Flight 111 departed from John F. Kennedy International Airport on the evening of September 2nd, 1998, and the flight was bound for Geneva Airport. The weather was favorable, and the aircraft climbed smoothly to its cruising altitude over the Atlantic Ocean. Everything appeared normal. Passengers settled into their seats. Flight attendants began their regular duties, and the crew monitored the flight. For nearly an hour, nothing seemed unusual. Smoke in the cockpit. At approximately 10:10 p.m. Atlantic time, the pilots noticed an unusual smell in the cockpit. At first, the pilots believed they had enough time to land safely. However, the fire was spreading in a hidden area above the cockpit ceiling. The smoke became thicker. Electrical systems began malfunctioning. Some cockpit instruments started failing. Loss of critical systems. As the aircraft approached the coast of Nova Scotia, conditions inside the cockpit deteriorated dramatically. The fire damaged wiring that controlled important aircraft systems. Communication equipment became unreliable. Navigation instruments started failing. The pilots were suddenly facing a situation that was becoming impossible to control. Despite their efforts, they continued trying to reach Halifax. The final minutes. At 10:24 p.m., communication with the aircraft became increasingly difficult. Moments later, air traffic controllers lost all contact with Flight 111. The fire had likely disabled critical systems throughout the aircraft. Just minutes after the last radio transmission, the MD-11 entered an uncontrolled descent. Traveling at tremendous speed, the aircraft slammed into the Atlantic Ocean near Peggy's Cove. The aircraft was completely destroyed. All 229 people on board lost their lives. Search and recovery. Within hours, rescue ships, military aircraft, Coast Guard vessels, and local fishing boats rushed to the crash site. Investigators faced a difficult task because the aircraft had broken into thousands of pieces. Recovery operations continued for months. Large portions of the wreckage were raised from the seabed, so investigators could determine exactly what had happened. The investigation was led by the Transportation Safety Board of Canada. Investigators reconstructed much of the aircraft from recovered wreckage. After years of analysis, they concluded that the disaster was caused by a fire that started in wiring located above the cockpit ceiling.